Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reenie, and this is the Enchanted Planner. Voiceover time, because this plan with me took a hell of a long time. Pardon the expression. Yeah, it was a long one. It's a beautiful plan with me, mind you. Well, in my opinion, anyways. I'm planning my October monthly in this plan with me, and yes, my planners have had a little bit of a fall refresh. Once I finish setting them up in the way I like them, I will film a flip through of what I've done and what they look like. So I'm just pulling my stickies off so I can actually have room to decorate. My monthlies, I use them to track events, of course, but I also use them to track all of the bills we have, whether they're on auto debit or whether I have to manually pay them, because I'm telling you, man, the mental brain is a thing. It's a thing. I've pulled out the florals, those purple florals in the flowers book. Desiree did a spread like this last year. Was it her October monthly last year? And I love the idea so much that I'm like, all right, I'm going to recreate that spread, which worked well because I had absolutely no ideas for my monthly. And in complete transparency, this is actually the second plan with me that I've done for this monthly. I did the first one and I didn't like it. And it was not what I was happy with. So needless to say, it got next and out with that, out with the old and in with the new. You'll also notice I have the Teresa Collins monthly or October monthly instead of my Stephanie normal monthlies. When I had planned the original plan with me, I was on a black piece of cardstock. Well, what do you call those? Poster boards you get from the dollar store. And I've been trying it out because I'm having shadowing issues within the videos. And I was trying to correct this because it doesn't seem to matter if I 3-point light or not. The lighting in my office is really not conducive. So I gave up and I thought, well, you know what? To get rid of the shadows, let's just have a dark background. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my water. Well, when I did that, the cheap cardstock, whatever you call it, poster board, all the color transferred onto the back of the right hand page, which is, well, it was actually, on the right hand page. Well, that was the first half of the week for October 4th to the 10th. So I had to pull out the Teresa Collins planner. I had bought this originally because I had planned on Franken planning the two of them, but I decided I just didn't want to do that. So if you'll notice, I placed the purple floral up in that corner, and it was a little large. I didn't want to take up that much space, so I cut off the top piece, which doesn't get used, but we always hang on to our scraps because scraps are our friend. You never know when you're going to need them. And I'm just trying to figure out where I can lay down decor and where I can't lay down decor, which is why I pulled out my little cheat sheet there on everything that's got to go onto this blooming monthly. I'm like, man, I gotta find a way to reduce a lot of these expenses. I feel like I'm nickel and diming myself to death. It's crazy, but there's a good portion of them that are also business expenses that I need to be able to run my business. So it's a catch-22. This purple floral is beautiful and I really want to use it, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how I can make it work. In the end, I do end up covering up the 27th and the 28th, but I just ended up laying a box over top of the florals because I don't have a large amount of bills that have to be tracked on those 2 days. So it was nothing to just slip like the quarter box or the 8th box, the littlest ones really that Happy Planner makes in the Colorful Boxes books, over the top of them, and it looked all pretty. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely adore this spread. It's very close to the one Des did originally. Thank God for her creativity. But so I can't take full credit for it, but I'm really happy with it. I'm going to enjoy looking at it all month long. The floral I'm placing right now is from the Layered Florals book. that book has a few of these purple florals and they're smaller. So it was a better fit for that corner down there, being that the Monday is a split box. I couldn't really take up a lot of room because one, Halloween is there. But I also needed to be able to see the 24th at the same time. So I pulled out the smaller floral and that worked really well down in that corner. I'm just trimming off the edges, and not much of those scraps, or there's not much for scraps, so I'm going to save them anyways, just because, you know, you never know when you're going to need a little piece of filler for something that's just not quite filling the space you need it to fill. Now I think I'm flipping in and out of the books trying to grab, I decided on washi. Now, the polka dot washi is a fantastic, I don't know, I love it with this spread, but again, I can't really take credit for it because it's not mine. I always give credit where credit is due. Right? And I think with that kind of, I'm a very pay it forward kind of girl. We lead by example, and I have like huge ethics. Like they're sometimes much to my demise, but I'm one of those people. Like black is black, white is white. I don't really do gray very well, and we have nothing but our integrity as far as I'm concerned. Like there's only a few things that we can control, and integrity happens to be one of them. So I'm very, very, very cautious with my integrity. I like to always make sure I'm above board, doing the right thing. I'm just trimming off the edges of the washi. Sorry, I'm a little bit floaty in the brain this morning. Again, Menno brain. You gots to love it. It's not all bad though. It's not all bad. You know, there are a few of us, we just complain just to be heard. We just want to hear our voice, I swear. But I love my fellow Menno ladies, whether you're in Perry or Post. I love y'all because I'm Post. But much to my chagrin, I will admit, I did not realize menopause symptoms carry on when you're in postmenopausal. I was like, say what? So I don't have any, like, you know, of the monthly visit, but I still have to deal with the hot flashes and the brain fog and the midsection and all the rest of it that goes along with this beloved transition into the winter of my life, which is wonderful. Enjoying it, I will say that much. All right, we've pulled out the colorful boxes because I'm after a purple to match those florals. There's not quite an exact match, but there is a lavender that is really, really nice. So I'm pulling out a ton of boxes. This is going to take a while because I know I need a lot of boxes. I think I ended up using let me see here, what's 2, 4, I think there's about 15 boxes or 16 boxes in total to mark everything down. And this is my do-it-yourself colorful boxes book, and I had several of them, and these two are overstuffed because they said 60 pages. I'm like, no, I'm gonna push it. I think I got I don't know, 70 in there, so they're a little bit bursting at the seams. But what I did is I put the black, the gold, and the silver in one book, and then I put the greens, the pinks, the blues, and the purples into a second book, and it works. I need to go through them and clear out all of the pages that have no boxes left on them anymore. But then the other side of me doesn't want to really throw them out. And I've seen several people use those outlines, I guess, if you will, and lay them onto label paper and make more colorful boxes, which I may have to do because I've got a couple of colorful boxes books, but they're getting increasingly difficult to find. They're generally out of stock on both the Happy Planner website and Joann's, and I'm in Canada, so it's impossible to find them here because Michael's doesn't carry them anymore. They cleared them all out earlier this year. Yeah, I think it was probably December, January is the last time I seen a colorful boxes book in the stores here. So I really wish that Michael's would carry the stock. I mean, I know they're all about bringing in the new stuff, but why not keep some of the staples? Like colorful boxes, everybody's going to need them. I got nothing. I'm not ordering for Michael's, but it just annoyed. Just annoyed. So we are laying in those boxes. And like I said, hang on to your hats, ladies. Hang on to those red hats, because there's a few of them. These poor boxes take a few minutes to get laid down. And this video is sped up. I think in the end, this video ended up being close to an hour, I think, when all was said and done, when I pieced the two of them together. And y'all know how I feel about wasting your time. I don't really want it to be much more than like 30-35 minutes tops, and that's really even pushing it. I prefer videos that are like 20-25 minutes, because I don't know about everybody else's viewing, but there are video, like when I sit down or I'm like listening to Plan With Me's in the background while I'm like, I don't know, doing housework or piddling around or whatever, I will listen to the entirety of it, absolutely. But I don't know what everybody else's viewing habits are. I'm a little bit extra. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I am let me know below. Like, do you watch the really long videos? Like, if it's, one of the content creators that you love and you're loyal to and you love listening to the sound of their voice, do you watch the whole thing, or do you sort of just skip to the end and find out what the end result was and the spread looked like? There are some times I do that, but a lot of the times I love watching them. I like hearing the process with people. It's just on this particular Plan With Me, my process was a little drawn out. It was a little drawn out at I think it was 54 minutes by the time I pieced the two videos together, because the phones nowadays have this, and I mean, I'm grateful for it, don't get me wrong, but the phones have these fail safes in them that they will only record so much length or time length in one video, and then it will start a second video just to make sure if there's a file corrupted, you don't lose the whole thing, which is great. But it took me a while to figure out. I was like, why are you in two? And every video, like the first part was like 33 minutes and 11 seconds, like right on the money. And then the next video was like whatever was left. But I did a little bit of research and I went, okay, I gotcha. Now I'm using some colorful, like monthly colorful boxes, and I tell you, I hoard these things. I have only ever managed to secure one book, just one. But I have no choice with the fact that I need to create a split box in the Sunday to cover both the 24th and the 31st. So I'm just trying to line up the two parts. So if you notice, what I did is I took one colorful monthly box and I sort of laid it down in where the notched out piece was under the 24, and then I folded it in half, which is out of frame right now because I'm fudging with the damn thing to try and get it laid down straight. And then I took another colorful box or color monthly box and I did the same thing on the bottom and scored it as well, and then pieced the two of them together. And I'm on the struggle bus with this, really. It's been a while since I've had to do this, so I don't even remember my efficient way to do it. Again, menno brain. But I kept thinking to myself, like, I'm making this harder than I have to. I'm making this harder than I have to. And it still hasn't come to me. I got nothing, people. Nothing. I'm sure it'll hit me one night at like 3 a.m. when I'm on an insomnia route and I'm not sleeping, right? All of a sudden it'll strike me and go, oh, that's why I was doing wrong. But in the meantime, I made it work. It ended up laid down. It was not exactly the straightest, but I was so fed up with fighting with it. I just called it. I just called it. So I pulled a Halloween. Like I said, this is the second time I've done the October monthly. So originally I had planned on using the seasonal stickers, and I pulled out Best Year Ever and the new seasonal fall book, I believe. And I had created a spread using those. Well, like I said, I wasn't very happy about it, but what I had done is I had already created one of those little split monthly boxes in purple and orange, and then pulled the Happy Halloween sticker out of the Best Year Ever because it was a great Happy Halloween. So I had reused that on that monthly box down there, but it didn't want to stick down because it had been up and down so many times. I had to pull out my Zig two-way pen eventually to glue it down and secure it, because yeah, it was really not happy with one being scored, because when I laid it down it was literally in the fold, so I had to score it to make sure it was going to lay flat. And then on top of that, it had been up and down a couple of times, so it was just not happy. Even now I have to be careful if I run my hand along it, because the top of the exclamation mark just refuses to stay stuck down, even with the Zig two-way pen. So I'm just like, we'll just be gentle with you. We'll just be gentle. So now I'm laying in some decorative florals in and amongst the boxes, and I'm going to start pulling out those little purple, I don't know what to call them, splatters. I don't know what you know which ones I'm talking about. They're in with these florals in the flowers book. But I do. These are out of those books. This is probably one of my favorite florals. And I have several of these books because these are one of my favorite florals in that book. Sorry, my chair is squeaking. Hopefully it's not too terribly loud in the background. I'm trying to sit as still as possible while I'm doing this, but even the slightest movement, it's going, I'm like, oh, you sound like my niece. Oh, it's all good. See, this now I'm pulling out the Best Year Ever book, because there is some really cute stickers in here, and the Happy Thanksgiving, because in Canada, Thanksgiving is on the 11th. I don't know why ours is different from the United States. It's kind of cool that your Thanksgiving is like at the end of November, and then that rolls you right into Christmas season. But yeah, our Thanksgiving is in October. It's on the 11th this year. And then we had, what do we have? And then we have, we have Remembrance Day in November. And that's on the 11th. And I believe that holiday is the same in the US as well. I think Remembrance Day and I don't know if it's Veterans Day. Is it Veterans Day? I'm going to have to check on that because I'm not quite sure. I'm going to go Google veterans. I just want to make sure that I am correct. It is Veterans Day. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was calling that holiday the correct one, simply because, for respect. It's a day of, we should be reflecting on the past, because we should always just keep in mind that, and the sacrifices made. I don't know if that's an age thing or if just people don't really think like that anymore, but I don't know what y'all find. Do people in general, like, I know some people that, like, they look at Remembrance Day as, woohoo, it's a stat, I don't have to go to work that day and we're going to plan all these activities. And I'm like, really? Okay. I mean, we still obviously do activities, but there's the moment of silence that's observed at 11:11 and like things like that, or 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. We have a few different things because usually people will get together at the epitaphs. Now, granted, that's not been happening courtesy of COVID, but I don't know. I just think that we should remain connected to our past enough that we can learn from it so we don't make the same mistakes in the future. And now I've pulled out the Spiderwebs. There was a couple of Spiderwebs in the Best Year Ever book. And the sheets that I've got to the side are from Create with Mandy. I purchased them last year. And they're so cute. So cute. Because I was unable to. There was that hot ticket item last year. It was the little Halloween sticker book that everybody was after and using from Happy Planner. And originally I looked at the thing a couple of times and went, meh, I don't really want it, until I saw it in use. And then the FOMO began. So, but I wasn't able to locate it, which is fine because the ones I picked up for Mandy, I quite like. first, they match the ones that are in the Best Year Ever book because the lines in the Spiderwebs are nice and thin, whereas the ones from that sticker book were thick and bold. It just gives a different look. I will link Desiree's October monthly spread that I'm basically totally scooping her idea shamelessly, I tell you, shamelessly. And I will link it below so you guys can have a look at it too. She's did a beautiful spread, and it's been on my mind ever since last year, although it ended up in the back drawer in the filing cabinet until I was stuck for ideas. And then the light bulb came on and I went, oh, what about that one? And then I had to go looking for it because I was not remembering exactly what month it was, but it turned out to be her October monthly last year as well. Now, that being said, the Spiderwebs and Florals was originally, according to Allie's idea, I'm guessing a few years ago, before my time as a happy planner. And, you know, Allie calls it her legacy spread, which is absolutely adorable, but it gets used every single year. People use that idea of Spiderwebs and Florals, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I would link you to Allie's, but she's removed all of her other videos because I guess she went a different direction on her channel, which is absolutely fantastic, right? But I can't link to the original idea because it's not there anymore. I went looking, but it's all gone. It's bye-byes. It doesn't exist anymore. But I've pulled out the green seasonal because this book has some awesome bats. I needed bats to copy the spread that Des did, and I found some really great bats in the green seasonal. And I mean, and that's an old seasonal book. It still says Create 365 on it. So I'm not sure when it came out, before my time as a happy planner, because I've only been around for 2 years. But every book I have bought, for the most part, there's the occasional one that says Create 365 on it, but you know, I know those are old books, but everything I've seen really is all happy planner. So it's old book, but there's some really cute decorative stickers in there. And Lee had commented on my vertical for October 4th that, you know, she was happy to see me use old sticker books too. And I was like, yeah, I've got to. Because if I don't work them in, I'm never going to make a dent in all the stickers that I have acquired. I need to go through and do a de-stash. Because like anyone else, when you get involved in this hobby, it's like, you've got to have it all. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. You got to have them all. Happy Planner, you got to have them all. But I do need to do a de-stash because I could probably plan for 15 years and never go through all this stuff. So we're just slipping them back on the disc to see how it looks. And I forgot that I had to trim that little punch hole out because I'm like, oh yeah, I can't get it on the discs. But once we get that done, we will be done. And there she is. I'm so pleased with her. So pleased with her. Let me know what you think below. Like I said, I can't take full credit, not my spread, but I do like my little variations on it. Not huge variations, but a little bit here and there. I'm so thrilled with it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. Ciao.